Ever had that nightmare where your ex arrives at a wedding and shows up with your best friend? Yeah, that's the kind of emotional flashfire Katy Perry reportedly just faced. Reports say Orlando Bloom was cozying up to Kim Kardashian at Jeff Bezos' lavish wedding in Venice, and Katy wasn't there to see it. Now the rumor mill is churning. Is this a friendly greeting or a power move in the breakup chess game? Stick with me because soon we'll ask.
I mean, I should ask you what's in the water in Australia because apparently this all blew up in
Yeah.
Australia. According to TMZ, Orlando Bloom is going to be making his debut as a newly single man at the wedding of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez.
Did Orlando just go public with his single life? And will Katy's meltdown come next? Reports say Orlando Bloom attended Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's lavish wedding in Venice as a solo guest. Katy Perry was noticeably absent due to her time in Australia. This in itself wasn't shocking, given split rumors following her Lifetime's tour and mixed reviews of her Blue Origin mission and latest album. But the water cooled when cameras caught Orlando hugging and air-kissing Kim Kardashian. Casually chatting and laughing alongside Kim's family, he greeted Kim and Khloe, even shared a seemingly flirty moment that many called vengeance optics.
Hold each other accountable as best we can, at different times, and I think that's part of what works for us as a couple who are trying to evolve.
Sources say he's expected to bring the energy and hit the dance floor hard. There's even talk he and Leonardo DiCaprio could slip away for a little bar hopping.
Oh, dear.
One insider joked 90% of the guest list is kind of boring, but that other 10%, including Orlando, Leo, and Jeff Bezos himself, is where the real fun is. It's going to be a great party.
And here's the kicker. Picturing your ex at a billionaire's wedding, alone, upbeat, and seemingly moving on, is the ultimate gut punch. With Katy off doing press and shows, this landmine hit hard. Once those photos dropped, the media wheels started spinning. Major entertainment outlets hit the presses with Orlando's new romance headlines, suggesting he might be making a clean break. Of viral gossip accounts and celebrity Instagrams queued up reaction reels dissecting his body language with Kim. And podcasts? They went back to a notorious New York Fashion Week moment when Orlando admired Kim's outfit, a comment that Katy later responded to with, "I approve." That clip and headline soundbite began blowing up again today.
Now, the split rumors, they just won't stop. They're intensifying, and notably, she will not be attending the wedding.
She definitely pushes me to be the best version of myself.
The result? Two clear narratives. One painting Orlando as a man stepping into a bright, single chapter, the other calling it a reckless, emotionally loaded power play. Meanwhile, Katy's silence speaks louder than any clapback. It's not like this moment just dropped from the sky. It fits into a crisis pattern that's been building. Reports say tension flared after Katy's April Blue Origin space trip, which Orlando supposedly called cringeworthy and embarrassing during a reported argument.
According to insiders, Katy and Orlando's relationship had been on the rocks for months. The split, amicable they say, no major drama, just two A-listers realizing that maybe forever wasn't in the cards.
Top tips to mend a broken heart. Your best friends, your family, and lots of junk food.
Around the same time, her album 143 received lukewarm reviews, with Orlando doing little to hide his frustration. Some sources say he called it embarrassing to /. And insiders say they've been holding off announcing anything until her tour wrapped, meaning Orlando may have timed his Venice moment deliberately, not coincidentally. So that hug at a billionaire wedding? It doesn't feel like a fluke. It feels like a strategic statement, one that loudly signals, I'm officially out of that chapter.
Well, the last thing you want to hear is that your estranged husband is hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio somewhere in Italy. That is just bad news all around.
But he handles the insanity of my life with grace. Everyone's a teacher in a relationship. That's how I see it now, and we've taught each other a lot.
Let's be real. This moment isn't happening in a vacuum. Katy Perry's brand has been on a roller coaster for years, and now it's starting to feel like the wheels are shaking. Start with her Blue Origin space launch. What was meant to be a futuristic flex turned into meme bait. Reports say the internet didn't just call it awkward. They called it cringeworthy, billionaire cosplay, and Katy's least relatable moment yet. Even worse, Rumors on the street say Orlando himself called the whole launch embarrassing during an argument, according to sources quoted in multiple tabloids. It was their first major mask-off moment in public, and it stung.
There's a balance. I think when when you're attracted to someone, it's kind of opposites attract, and so I'm looking for that balance, and maybe he's looking for that. Multitask. I'm such a multitasker.
Then there's her momfluencer era. Every time Katy posts about motherhood, complete with high-end strollers, branded onesies, and filtered kitchen chaos, critics say it looks more like product placement than real life. Some fans say she's turning life milestones into content drops. Others defend her. But one thing's clear, there's always been a whisper that Katy's emotional moments are market-tested. Now add in the merch drops, the album teases, and the sudden silence whenever backlash hits, and this new moment at the Bezos wedding doesn't feel like new drama. It feels like the next card collapsing in a tower that was already shaking. And those shots of Orlando and Kim, they're not just tea. They're jet fuel to every narrative that Katy's spotlight has been burning too bright and too far from home.
It's the end of an era, folks. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom have reportedly called it quits after nearly a decade of fireworks, pirate ships, and one adorable baby girl.
There's a lot of people that are like, she's awful, she should go. You can't win them all.
We're both, I think, cheerleaders for each other.
Let's lay it out like a triangle, except this one's upside down. At the top point, you've got Katy Perry. She's juggling a tour across Australia. She's promoting an album, 143, that never fully caught on. She's still riding the wave of her Blue Origin adventure, despite the backlash. And she's hanging out at events with names like Bezos, Musk, and Branson, more than mom blogs or playdates. At the base, you've got Orlando Bloom. He's settled. A lower profile roles. A focus on their daughter Daisy. And reportedly, a growing frustration at being known as Katy's +1. But Venice flipped the triangle. At that wedding, Orlando was the one glowing, present, confident, flirting with Kim Kardashian like the cameras didn't even matter. He wasn't supporting someone else's moment. He was the moment. That one public hug shifted the whole equation.
And then also with KP6 in the works, Orlando went on Trevor Noah's podcast, said the nicest things about you. Is he so supportive of
Me?
KP6?
Yeah, we're both supportive of each other. I don't support him doing a second season of The Edge because I want him to live. So don't do that.
She loves music, and she loves what mommy does and daddy does, and she loves seeing us happy.
Now Katy's tour looks distant, disconnected, and a little too curated, while Orlando feels real, feels done waiting, feels like he just reclaimed his storyline. And, in the court of celebrity opinion, that change hits hard. The internet did what it always does. Split right down the middle. Hashtag Team Orlando. They're calling him a real one for finally stepping into the light after years of playing second fiddle.
Comments like,
good for him. He deserves happiness, too. He stuck around long enough. Let him be petty now. Single dad era. Let's go. They're not just supporting him. They're cheering the rebirth of Orlando Bloom as a solo act, not just Mr. Perry. Hashtag Team Katy. Meanwhile, Katy's defenders aren't having it. They see the Bezos wedding photos as cold and calculated, especially since, as reports say, she was still performing overseas the night those pictures dropped. Quotes from fans. He couldn't wait one more week to go public? This feels like clout chasing, plain and simple. Imagine doing this when your co-parents out there grinding on tour. Even neutral observers are split. Some say this is how celebrities reclaim power after breakups. Others say it's the messiest kind of PR rebound. But no matter the take, one thing's for sure. The optics are not neutral. They're nuclear. And both camps are locked in. Let's talk about how the industry's reacting, because make no mistake, Hollywood is watching this unfold like it's the season finale of a prestige drama. Insiders are split right down the middle. Side A. Too much, too soon. Some A-listers and entertainment commentators are whispering the same thing behind closed doors. Orlando crossed a line. The hug. The kiss. The timing. The setting. At a billionaire's wedding? with cameras rolling, while Katy is mid-tour and headlines are already swirling about their rumored split. One publicist even said off-record, "It's giving revenge arc, not new chapter." There's a growing belief that the optics weren't accidental, that this wasn't some natural reconnection between friends. Instead, it was staged, bold, and designed to make headlines. And in the divorce playbook of high-profile couples, that kind of move is usually frowned upon.
Why?
Because it puts the child, the co-parent, and the private behind-the-scenes struggles on blast. But others in the industry, especially those who've lived through their own breakups, are saying the opposite. That Orlando didn't break a boundary. He redefined one. A source close to a major A-list divorce attorney even commented, "Sometimes it's not about drama. It's about stepping into your own identity again." Celeb blogs are comparing Orlando to Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Phillip, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, couples who, even through public splits, managed to coexist in a way that felt respectful and realistic. But here's the catch. Those couples did it quietly. Orlando just did it in Venice, with Kim Kardashian, at Jeff Bezos' wedding. So even if it is growth, it's the loudest version imaginable. Which raises the question that every podcast is now asking. Is this Orlando tearing down the family image, or finally building something real, outside Katy's shadow? Either way, the fence between tasteful and tactical has officially been kicked down. Let's zoom out now, because this Kim moment doesn't stand alone. It's part of a longer timeline where Katy's public image has been polished but fragile. Start with the Blue Origin launch. What should have been a triumphant moment, a pop star becoming a space icon, turned into a viral roast. Social media didn't just roll their eyes, they rolled out the memes. Pop star in space became shorthand for out-of-touch celebrity stunts. And who stood silent while she flew? Orlando. Not even a proud post or a quote. That silence said more than 1 million retweets. Then came the merch drops. Baby center collections, pastel aesthetic rollouts, choreographed nursery content. To some fans, it felt like sweet branding. To others, another PR move wrapped in a onesie. Now fast forward to the tour drama. Early spoilers, mixed reviews, and a rollout that tried to feel intimate but landed like a Canva template. And now this, the Bezos-Kardashian Bloom trifecta, hitting right when her name was already floating in breakup rumors. It's a pattern that's hard to ignore. Every time Katy tries to pivot her public narrative, space explorer, mom mogul, girl next door in a glitter jumpsuit, it gets overshadowed by something messier. And this time, that something just hugged Kim Kardashian in Venice. So while Orlando might be stepping into his moment, Katy's brand, once again, feels like it's scrambling for ground. Not because she's not talented, not because she's not powerful, but because the audience has stopped buying the image. And the moment your brand becomes predictable controversy instead of aspirational consistency, that's when the cracks start to show, no matter how good the glitter looks from a distance. My prediction: Katy is taking the strategic silence route. She'll wait, then resurface with a powerful family-first photo dump or emotional song release timed to reclaim her narrative. Orlando? He's already out there, free, unfiltered, and unbothered. So what's next? A Katy Perry comeback with tear-stained message. Or Orlando's Venice moment becomes a reset button for celebrity dating season 2025.